noticed that your game feels boring to play and wondered why. I mean, sure, you have lots of features, over 400 lines of code, custom sprites, and other things. But it's not your game's lack of features, it's something else. Your game feels boring to play, and I'm here to give you a solution. It's quite simple. See, I struggled with this problem too, and there are many solutions, but the simplest one? Particles. It may feel intimidating at first, but with just a basic understanding of Python, this solution is probably simpler than most of your games. The first thing we're going to do is create a new file. I'm going to name it particles.py. You'll need two libraries to add particles to your game. The first library is Pygame. The second library is random. Next, you'll have to initialize Pygame. Then set the FPS. Initialize the screen. You'll need to initialize width and height. Clock. Screen color first. Then clock. Then the running variable. Gravity. Bob X, Bob Y, and Bob Graph. These are the variables for your character's current X, current Y, and current velocity. Then you'll need to define your character. This character will be a rect to keep things simple. I'll name him Bob. His X and Y should be the variables you defined earlier, and his width and height should be 20. There's a variable called drawBob to see if you're currently drawing the character. And then finally a list for our Python. So that is all our variable declaration, and now we start the main game loop. So while running. Then for event in Pygame.event.event. Okay. First you have to see if the player quits. Then we set running to false, because that stops the main game loop. Then, otherwise we are going to set keys to whatever keys are being pressed. Okay. Then we check if Bob is currently in the air. If he is, we apply gravity. So we add gravity to Bob's current velocity, and then we add the velocity to Bob's current Y to move him. This means that as he falls, he will move faster. Next, if Bob isn't in the air, then we keep him on the ground so he doesn't fall off of our world. We set velocity to 0 because he's not moving. Next, we check for key presses to move Bob. So first, if the key is the up key, then we make Bob jump. And now we set the velocity to a negative number, which makes Bob jump. Then the regular left and right. But this is different. This checks if any keys are being pressed so that the particles can be drawn. So, in order to draw our particles, we start with if the key is the left key, and Bob isn't on the edge, then move Bob left. If the key is the right key, we can just copy this line. If the key is the right key, and Bob is greater than the width, so he doesn't fall off the other edge. Uh-oh, indentation, okay. And then if we're drawing Bob, now this is the part where we draw our particles. So first, for I in range 2, which means for every time that one of these things gets triggered, one key is pressed, it draws 2 particles. We do particle dot particles, which is the list that we created earlier, dot append. Oh, we need to rename particles. Particles dot append. So what we're going to append is, first we're going to append a list. Inside that list is going to be multiple lists. Bob.x plus equals 10. Bob.x plus 10. Bob.y plus 10. Comma random.random. This adds the little random particle like float so they don't all end up in the same place. I'm going to wrap this in a list. So this is going to be the particle like x and y movement. 3 random.random. And then finally, oh my god, this is going to be this last random is going to be the particle size. 4 and 9. Huh? Oh, it's random.random, not just random. Okay, so that's all for adding a particle to the list. Next, we add Bob's self-destruct mechanism. So if the keys equals Pygame.k space, so if the space key is pressed, then if we're currently drawing Bob, so if Bob is still alive, for I in range 90, we're going to make a lot of particles because this is going to be an explosion. Particles.append. What we're going to do, this one's a bit different. We're going to still have a list. Oh wait, let's just Control-Z. Add a list, press enter. Now, what we're going to append is, this one we're going to start with Bob.centerx. Oh, come on. Bob.centery. Then we're going to do random.randint. Since this explosion is going to be bigger, the values are also going to be bigger, so the explosion kind of spreads out more. So -7, and we can always tweak these values to make it bigger, smaller, like that, whatever you think looks best. Then this is for the size. So we're going to also have bigger particles, and then this is for the color, which is a new addition, which you're going to see in effect later. So 25500. Uh-oh, where am I? Okay. So it's going to be this, or the other two options are 2551650, that's orange, and 255250, that's yellow. And then our next step is going to be setting draw Bob to false, because, well, we destroyed Bob. But there is a way to resurrect Bob, and that is our next few lines of code. Pygame. Oh my god. Okay, R, the R for restart or resurrect or whatever you want to call it. Draw Bob equals false. Now we set draw Bob to true, and then we set Bob's x, y, and velocity. Bob x and Bob y become a random, and then Bob's velocity gets set to 0. So random 0. What? Oh, why do I keep typing a comma? And then the next one is gonna be random.randint 0 height for the y, and then 0 for the velocity. And then after that, we're almost done. We update Bob's y. No, actually, we don't need that. Well, let's just add it. Oh, then we fill the screen. Not fill. With the screen color. And then we're gonna do is for. Oh wait, no, we don't need line 55. get rid of that. For particle, in particles, this is going to draw the particles. So we're going to make a copy of the list just in case, so we don't have to we don't accidentally delete anything. So first we're going to make particle 0, 0, so this should be the x plus equals particle 1, 0. So this is adding the x velocity to the x. Then particle 0, 1 plus equals particle, oh my god, particle 1, 1, which adds to, this is adding the y velocity to the y. Then particle 2 minus equals 0.1, which is the particle decay rate, so decrease particle size, the particle gets smaller, and then we create the particle as rect particle equals pygame dot rect dot rect, and then particle, or did I just spell particle wrong? Particle 0, 0, particle 0, 1, particle 2, particle 2. We pass particle 2 twice because the width and the height same value. Next we have a try except box. So first we try color equals particle 3, but since some of our elements don't have a 3, first you have to draw. That's why it's wrapped in a try block named green particle 3, then rect particle. Otherwise we go to this except block, and then it's pygame.draw.rect screen particle 3 rect particle. Except this time, instead of passing particle 3, we pass 200, 100, which is green, I think, if particle. So this is checking is the particle size 0 or less, and then we remove it from the list so it doesn't lag our game. Then we check this, and then we check Bob's current position. So we get out of the for loop, and then if Bob x, so just a few. Oh my, this is like width. Okay, minus 20. Then we check the other x. We already checked the y earlier, so. And then after that, now we check if we're drawing Bob. So if Bob is still alive, then we update him a bit, and then well, that's a bit big. Pygame.draw.rect, so we're drawing Bob. And then we let the clock tick. Then and this is our last line, pygame.display.flip. Okay, so we do need to add one more line, which is above screen.fill_color. We need to add Bob y plus equals Bob Bell, and then we need to fix this line where both the numbers are -3. After that, we can go down to program, give it a quick scan, and then finally we can press play. And now you have a nice simple particle system. This may not be the most effective way. Press space, you can see Bob explodes, R to respawn him. If you like this tutorial, please subscribe so you can see our other ones, get notified when new videos drop. Otherwise, just subscribe for Bob. Thank you.